We are ninjas, we are brothers, we're united and we're strong. We are ninjas, we are turtles, we are heroes. Sing our song. Are you ready? Let's go. So what my brother's saying may be true, but my methods will leave you black and blue. They are the nice ones, but me not so much. But I won't kill you, not as such. Now I'll just make sure you live to regret it. So change your mind now or you're in the...
Raphael!
Sorry. We are ninjas.
The Legend of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Part 1, Chapter 63, Afternoon. Written and performed by Joseph Chambers and based on the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic books created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. At 4 o'clock, April arrived at the lair. She had not told her mum she was going to her martial arts class after school, as she knew she was already suspicious of what she got up to and would just tell her no. She didn't care what her parents thought. She knew she was doing the right thing. She would face the consequences later, but for now she had work to do. The decision was made by Master Splinter for Michelangelo to stay behind from that evening's mission. His leg, whilst healing, was still far too badly injured for him to take part in any kind of ninja-related activity. He was instead given the task of looking after Lobo and guarding the lair. He felt useless for not being able to assist his brothers. He wanted to kick himself, but of course he couldn't use his legs for even that. Leonardo assured him it was for the best, and after much thought, he convinced himself that his brother was probably right. Before the turtles left the lair, April was brought up to speed on their plan to invade the warehouse and destroy the computer banks. She was also told her role in all of this. Splinter told her, "We have taken your abilities into account and have decided it would be best if you spend this afternoon working on another one of the 18 principles of the ninja, Henso Jutsu, or in English, disguise and impersonation." "Okay, great. What do I have to do?" April inquired. 10 minutes later, April was dressed in a rather uncomfortable and itchy red vest and a black pair of jeans, and had been told to disguise herself as a foot ninja so as to cause a distraction and let the boys do their thing. Donatello then brought her into his lab and applied several layers of makeup, as well as a grey, shoulder-length wig. By the end, she resembled her grandmother with surprising accuracy. She gave an audible gasp in horror and awe as she looked in the bathroom mirror. The only real difference between her and her grandmother now was her voice, and the fact that Donatello had given April a large protruding scar on her right cheek. She surprised herself that afternoon by being able to run nearly as fast as the Turtles and Splinter. She still couldn't jump between the gaps of buildings, and demanded to be attached to Donatello whilst doing this. A line of bushes surrounded the warehouse. The group of 5 hid behind these whilst observing the masses upon masses of new security instalments. There were now 2 layers of fence, one of which was barbed and spiked, and the other of which was electrified. There were security cameras everywhere, floodlights and rebuilt security towers which were not wooden, but more of a plastic and metal alloy which was inflammable. April went to walk towards one of the fences, but was stopped by Leonardo, who drew his sword in front of her. Leonardo picked up a pebble and threw it towards the fences. Just shy of a few metres before it hit the fences, the pebble spontaneously combusted in a dazzling shower of indigo and magenta sparks. "Now, if I hadn't have stopped you, that would have been your fate," Leonardo added to a grateful April. "There must be a power source that is emitting a force field. We must find it and deactivate it," Splinter suggested. Donatello piped up. "Maybe if I were to have a quick sprint around, staying in the shadows, of course, I could see where the force field was being emitted from." "You have my permission," Leonardo confirmed. Donatello did so. He sprinted on the balls of his feet with his arms thrust behind him all the way around the TCRI enclosure. He used the surrounding trees to keep in the shadows. He was also grateful for it being a dark, rainy afternoon, which, despite making him cold and shivery, provided him with further shade. As he ran, his blue bandana became glued to his face with the rain. He sighted a grey box with tons of yellow and black warning stickers on it and figured that this was the point at which the power for the force field was generated. He then circled back to his brothers without a word and knelt down. "Well?" Leonardo asked. "Round the other side near the back entrance, unguarded," Donatello stated. The group proceeded to jog to this point, and Master Splinter was quick to use a shuriken to puncture the metal box and sever the flow of power. This resulted in a sudden shimmer in the air surrounding the TCRI building. All the guards at the security towers noticed this and ran to check the power box. The group quickly scarpered around to the other side of the complex and used their grappling hooks to cling to the TCRI warehouse building. This got them over 2 fences with ease, but they did not anticipate heavy machine gun fire in their direction upon arrival. "Everyone split! They can't get us all!" Splinter commanded to all of his students. Leonardo followed his father into the complex by climbing into a first-floor window by using their grappling hooks to cling to the building, and Leonardo swinging through the window, kicking it with both legs to break it before allowing the rest of himself and his father to follow. Raphael and Donatello, meanwhile, chose to tackle the main entrance, using their previously stolen ID card, which this time was surprisingly denied. Raph desperately shoved the card in and out of the machine, very aware he and his brother were jumping out of the way and dodging bullets with every second that passed. As the machine guns rumbled ever closer and the near misses with bullets came even nearer, Raphael made the choice to try out brute strength to solve the situation and gave the metal doors a colossus punch. Thankfully, this severely dented the doors, and Raphael used his bare hands to rip the doors apart. He and Donatello rushed inside, much to the shock of the afternoon workers.